Good morning, everyone. I'm very happy to see you at our webinar. I'm very happy to see your names in our chat because it is summer holidays still, but there are so many people who want to know what is going on, how can we be prepared for the new school year, and that is very pleasant, and I hope that it will be very useful. At least I'm trying to make these 30 minutes very useful for you. And I will share some information, and you can see the topic of our discussion today. We are going to read a little bit and write a little bit and speak a little bit about changes in primary school curriculum. My name is Nadia Klimischina, and you can see what I can do. So first of all, I'm a teacher of English, and I work in publishing house Nova. So I have lots of interesting things to tell you about. I have 30 minutes, so I will keep up with the time. And I'd like you also to keep up with the time, not to be late, not to be behind. That's why I will ask you to prepare a pen and a piece of paper. It can be a notebook, it can be a sheet of paper, so whatever is next to you, just take it and get ready. If I ask you to write something, please make some notes. I hope that these notes will help you to succeed in our discussion, and there will be some information left for you. While you are preparing, I will tell some more rules about any webinar that we have in Publishing House Nova. During the webinar, usually I prefer to speak English because we're teachers of English, and we need this practice to speak and to listen. And that's why all my webinars are in English, and this one is not an exception. We have an opportunity to chat a little bit. You can ask questions, I can answer them, or something like that. And for this purpose, we have a chat. In the chat, you can write any language. You can use any language you are comfortable with, because typing is not a very easy thing. Talking is easier. When you type, if you are comfortable with to type in Ukrainian, Russian, English, so please, you're welcome. All three languages are understood. Of course, the first question usually, and it is the rule of any webinar, to ask if you can hear and see as well. So, and to answer this question, you can press only one button. It will be plus or minus, and it will be very understandable for us. So, if you can hear me and see me well, so please let us know with your plus or minus. And if there is any problem, technical problem, we'll try to help you. Okay? So, you have a piece of paper, pen, plus, minus, I can see. Everybody is ready. Let's start. So, new school year. It is usually a very big event in our calendar, because after a long summer, we have to start our active life, meeting lots of people who we haven't seen for 3 or 2 months. Usually it is maybe exciting, maybe happy event. You can see some adjectives on the screen. I would like you to concentrate on your feelings, on your expectations, and choose 2 or 3 adjectives that your feeling describes your new school year. So what are the first descriptions of your new school year? What do you think? Is it going to be just busy or well-planned, smiley or worrisome, unpredictable or easy, maybe exciting but hard, maybe stormy? Sometimes we have such events that are stormy, that are quick and very unpredictable. So please choose 3. Don't share them in the chat, it is up to you, and write them on the piece of paper. It is just the start of our experiment. We will have an experiment, and this is the first task of it. Okay? So just choose 3 or 2, the first that come up to your mind. They can be something else. Maybe you have other expectations, you need another adjectives. Maybe you prefer to write Ukrainian adjective. That's okay. Okay, the idea is that you should have 3 or 2 words to describe a new school year. While you are writing, I will add that every new school year has got some changes. We have some news, we have some changes, some improvements, we have new people to work with, we have kids who are different, right? So even in 3 months they grow, they change, something happens to them, they travel somewhere or spend their summer somewhere, and they are a little bit different. So every school year is a little bit different. You cannot expect the same kids, the same colleagues, the same classroom. Something is changing. Okay, so you have 3 or 2 words, so please right now just put them aside, you don't need them for now. And the question, you know that I like asking questions, and I was talking about new school year. My question is going to be like that. So this new school year is coming up. What do you know about it? What is going to change? So a minute ago I just told you that something is going to change. So it is impossible for nothing to change, right? So what do you know? Maybe you will have a new grade. Maybe you will have a new colleague. Maybe you're going to have a new course book. Maybe you're going to go to the new school. What do you know about your school year? What is going to be new? Okay? So just like your answers, your ideas, your expectations. So and that's very important to prepare yourself, right? To prepare, like, yes, I know something is going to be new, and the information, something is going to be new for everyone all around the country. Not like local changes, but the bigger changes that happened in April, May, even in June, and they're going to influence our work. Okay, so and it is something that we're going to speak about. It is interesting if you've told about it. Of course, we have improvements in national curriculum, and these improvements were in almost every grade and almost every subject. And today we're going to focus our attention on the primary school. What happened in the national curriculum in primary school? What changes happened? If you look carefully at the screen, you can see that this is the issue of the journal that I'm editor-in-chief. It is Англійська мова в початковій школі. And you can see that in the 7th issue this year, in July's issue, we have all the information about changes in national curriculum. So it means that right now you can get it already. I think that if you're a subscriber, you have got it already to your home, and you could read about everything and already ready for any changes that are going to come up to your shoulders. If you didn't, you can search for this issue on our site. You can subscribe electronic version, and you know that it is not difficult to get an electronic version of any issue, including this one. If you'd like to have a paper version, it is going to be a tough one, because the only thing, if you are not a subscriber, the only possibility for you to get a paper version is to go to the library and get it, maybe to copy it, okay? But electronically you can subscribe to it very easily. What can you find there in this issue? You can find all kinds of methodological pieces of advice, right? Recommendations, how to start, what is important in the new school year. You can see the headline, the first one headline. It is about peculiarities, about learning some subjects in the next school year, and one very specific for us teachers of English. And if you teach in primary school or going to teach in primary school, you're going to read about what was changed in the national curriculum. Okay, so I think that it is very important to get familiar with that. That's why you can find it easily in the July issue. Read it, enjoy it, because it is something to make it easier, something to make, so all these improvements are to make the curriculum shorter. I think it's a good idea, okay? So let's look what exactly there, because everything can happen. This is just the quick summary. I really recommend to read it all, but this is just a quick summary, what they what they have changed. I fully agree with the first one. When we have in the first grade 35 minutes a week, of course we shouldn't go deeper into vocabulary. We should learn at least 5 words in each 5 topics that are presented in national curriculum, and that will be big enough, right? It will be just, we will be happy if our students know them. So that's why I fully support the first one. So only the close family, mother, father, sister, brother, that's enough. Maybe granny, right, in the 5th one. We have lots of time in the next years to come to learn any kind of vocabulary we'd like. So they recommend not to practice pair work because students are too small, and psychologically it is very challenging for them. Again, yes, there is a piece of there is a point of view like this, and you can support it, and not to practice pair work in your classroom. Also, we have the limitation of imperative. So you can say open your book, but you cannot say don't open your book. Again, you know, any kind of improvements are made for the teachers to have the easier life, to have the easier practice, teaching practice. So that's why if you think that for your students it's okay to understand, don't stand up or sit down, so you can still practice it. If you think it is too much, that's okay. You, according to new national curriculum with improvements, you can avoid it. So use only positive imperative. And the last one, it is about the using words in the national curriculum. You know that national curriculum is a document, and it is very important to use the proper words. So that's why they recommend us to teach our students to repeat after us. And I also think that it is quite nice, because 6-year-olds, 35 minutes a week, I don't think that they are ready to produce, but they are ready to repeat after you and enjoy language, listening. Right? Listening to the language, it is very important. So what about the 3rd grade? In the 3rd grade, we have imperatives, open the book and don't open the book, right? As it is taken from the 1st grade, it goes to the 2nd grade. They also recommend not to use, not to present months, and I also think that it is quite how to say, meaningful, right? Because 7-year-olds, they don't recognize months in native language. It is quite hard for them. So that's why seasons, days a week, it's okay. And as a result, in the 2nd grade, they recommend to start practicing pair work, but avoid group work. Again, you remember, improvements, these are changes that are made to make your life easier. You agree, you do. You want to try, you want to experiment, do the group work. You'll see it is challenging, but it is possible. And it is my point of view, okay? Everybody has got a point of view. If we go to the 3rd grade, we will see that now we have, of course, as a result of the changes in the 2nd grade, we have some changes here, seasons, months, and weather. If we'd like to speak about the weather in the 3rd grade, we need this structure. It is warm, it is cold, and it is added. They took away the future simple, and I think it is quite understandable. So like not to spend more time on those tenses that are more important for them, to describe world around them, present continuous, present simple, and very peculiar improvement about 2 prepositions that are not recommended in the 3rd grade because they are not speaking about territory. There is no topic, city or village or town, so that's why they recommend not to include them. So I think it's quite nice. And the 4th grade, the one that is going to be maybe the most challenging this year, because we have new course books and we have new everything. They also have some changes. Of course, the future simple comes into this grade from the 3rd one, because they, thanks goodness that we have no present perfect, and it happened some months ago, and I had a big celebration about that, because I really support the idea that the 10-year-old are not comfortable with very abstract idea of present perfect. And our students have got lots of years ahead of them to learn to practice present perfect and actually to enjoy it, not to scare them off, right? They are already scared by grammar. And we have very interesting improvement that is not so hard or so meaningful, maybe, I don't know, but it is written that we have to have this structure with the transparent and future simple, so like to practice them together. And they add the subtopic buildings. If we're talking about town, of course we have to speak about house, block of flats, church, school, shop, but I think that it is not a big difference. I think that anyway when you speak about town you use them. So as you see, that's it. That is a quick summary of our curriculum. So you see that not so many, quite nice. So please stay positive, right? So stay positive about the changes. Some people say that, oh my gosh, they came so late. Oh my gosh, why they're changing so late? To my mind, the late it's better later but better, okay? So like it's okay that it is later, and the problem is that all the course books are written already with present perfect, and you can see some of the things that are there, but I think that it is still better to have these improvements. So how to use it now? We know the information about what was improved, what was simplified in our national curriculum in primary school. So how to use it actually? What should I start with? Like, I know that there are improvements. What should I start with when I plan my school year? Because the end of the August is a wonderful time to start planning your school year with every grade. So what should you think about first? About the textbook you are using, about national curriculum, about calendar plan that you have to make, or you have to sort out additional material. So if you know what improvements happened, so what should you start with? Working and analyzing. You can write an answer on your piece of paper, or you can share with us in the chat, and in 3 seconds you will see not the right answer, my answer, okay, my personal point of view. I truly believe that you should start with national curriculum, because as I told you, if we take the 4th grade course books, for example, when we wrote them, and it happened in 2014, we started with old curriculum, and we had present perfect and all this stuff that now limited is already taken away from the curriculum. So that's why for you to be a more successful teacher, to use your time on purposefully, right, so meaningfully, so it is better for you to start again to look at the national curriculum, put there some improvements, enjoy it, have positive thoughts about that, and then of course already you are ready to make your calendar plan, look at your course book, and so on, right? So and some additional materials I also should go into the within the aims of national curriculum, because there are so many additional materials. You cannot teach everything in 1 grade. You have got 11 grades for a student, right? So that's why I choose only those that will be appropriate for your students, and they will be according to national curriculum. So in this way you will be nicely prepared, well prepared for this school year. But to tell you the truth, and I'm not going to surprise you, right? So yes, there are improvements, we know about them, we can plan it, but challenges are still coming, right? So how to deal with challenges? Every school year it is some kind of emotional thing. The first 2-3 weeks you are a little bit not on the track and something is happening. I know from my job, because my job is also quite challenging. I have lots of deadlines, I have lots of projects at the same time. I know how to deal with the challenges. So the first step, you can see the piece of advice on the screen. Please foresee the challenges. So again, take a piece of paper that you use in the very beginning. You remember that there are 3 words that are written, your predictions of the school year. And now can you please write what challenges you predict? What challenges can happen that we didn't speak about? So, okay, new curriculum, some improvements. That's it. Do you have any ideas of other challenges that can come? Can you please make a list? A short one, maybe two, but there will be challenges, right? So, you have some ideas, perfect. So, and there can be some variants like, my children will forget everything. Can it happen? It can happen easily. If you're prepared for this challenge, it is not going to be a disappointment for you, right? Maybe my best student will leave the school. It also can happen. Or I will have a newcomer into the best class and his level of English is going to be very low. It will also happen. If you predict it, you make peace with it inside your thoughts and feelings. You foresee the challenge and you can cope with everything. We know that, right? We're teachers. We can do whatever we want to. But the idea is when you predict it, you feel better about it, right? So, okay, yes, I have known about that. And it makes you stronger. One of the challenges that you can predict also that is not under your control, that maybe Ministry of Education will change something else. Can it happen? Easily. Some weeks ago, right? We have read already about some weeks ago we read about changes in national curriculum for this secondary school, that our colleagues, teachers of English, are going to have more hours for English. It's a good piece of news. But it is a challenge because now you have to prepare. You know that your course book is only for 2 hours. 1 hour is only up to you. Actually, it is very good. It is like a dream is coming true, right? So we always complain we don't have enough time. So now our colleagues in secondary school, they have more time. But it is a challenge if you're not prepared. So prepare for this. So that's why something can happen in primary school as well. I hope not, but who knows, everything can happen. So if you like, okay, whatever happens, I will accept it, it will come easier for you. And one more that right now there are lots of rumors about that the new course books that we spend so much time with choosing, writing, checking, arguing for the 4th and the 7th grade, there is a rumor that these course books are going to be late in the schools. There are some signs that it is going to be true, but nobody knows for sure. It is unknown, so we cannot say yes, they're going to be late, or no, they're not going to be late. But what can we do? We can predict. Okay, if the course book for the 4th grade is late, if in September I don't have it, what can I do? So my piece of advice, not to be sad about it, not to be, pessimistic about it, not to complain, but actually to do as this guy on the picture does, just overcome it. Yes. Okay, let's imagine that my course book is going to be late. What can I do instead? Because anyway, you're going to do something. And complaining and negative thinking is not going to help. It is going to drain you down. So if you know what to do, you feel better. What can be done? For example, if I'm a teacher and I have chosen the course book written by Klimišina, and I'm expecting the new book in September, I come to the classroom, I come to the library, no book. What should I do? Of course, I can call Klimišina and complain about the something that I don't like. But to tell you the truth, as I'm Klimišina Nadежda, I cannot help that. That is a big system of providing books into the schools. And by the way, keep in mind that the books are free for our students, and it is something that makes the process even more challenging, because the books are free and the government has to find the money for that and pay. So it is difficult. That is another challenge that, thanks God, you are not in, right? So you are not there. So that's good. So your problem is just like you come to the library, no book. What can I do? So my idea was, so first of all, you can find the book on our site. You can see the link right here next to the picture. So if there is an opportunity for you to use it this way, perfect. No, go to the school library, take another book. You have the book for the 4th grade of English. Yes, it is hard. Yes, it is not the one that you have chosen. Yes, it is like maybe you don't like it, but the plus is that you have enough copies for every student in your class, and you have national curriculum and improvements. You take the old book, you take curriculum and improvements, you compare, and you plan your first month, for example, according to the old book with national curriculum. You can plan it according to the like not according, but together with my course book. You can open it online, look, so if we have no, for example, 8 lessons first that are going to be in the first month, according to this book, I will find this and these topics in the old book and we will practice them. Then I will get the new book and everything will be according to the plan as we planned. So these are my pieces of advice. This is the information that, these are the steps I would do, because I started with that. I'm a teacher of English. I know how it is challenging to face all these challenges in our life. But I believe that my positive and constructive thinking helps me a lot. Because all kinds of complaining and saying that, oh, why did they, why don't they, why didn't they, doesn't work. It is not constructive. Your students are going to be in front of you. You're going to have lessons. You're going to have 45 minutes twice a week. So you cannot stop that. You cannot postpone that. So prepare yourself to it. Why? And you see that there is the issue of англійському початковій школі. Maybe you can find some more useful information in it during those days or weeks when you don't have the new book. Of course, I'm the author of the book. Of course, I want you to have it, but it is not under my control so far. I'd like you to think, to look, by the way, let's go back to your piece of paper where you wrote 3 adjectives about new school year. Look at them and read these wonderful thoughts. Unfortunately, I don't know who said them, but I like them very much. And you, as a teacher, you're a person who works among people, you work with people. You can see this every day. Every child has got thoughts, and his thoughts becomes his words. That is absolutely true. Be careful of your words, for your words become your deeds. So whatever we say, we actually do. Later, you will see that the kid does that. If the words are aggressive, the kid is ready to fight, for example. If words are polite, the person is ready to discuss the conflict or something like that. So it is so clear and so understandable, but it is so perfect that it is collected all together. But it is not the end. So the next line will be careful of your deeds, for your deeds become your, try to guess it, habits. Of course, the deed that you repeat several times is your habit. The more you complain about something, the more habit it is in your character, right? So, and of course, all kinds of characters that build our, all kinds of habits, the actions that we repeat over and over again, they become our character. So that is why my piece of advice was think positively and constructively, because it will be part of your character, and it is a part of your character if you do it. The last line, it is still not the end. Be careful for your character, because your character becomes your, do you have any ideas? The answer? Destiny. Of course, whatever we do, whatever we think, whatever we say, all these 3 things build up our life. Okay, so that's why I tell you not to panic, breathe in, breathe out, and make constructive decisions how to overcome challenges of the new year using curriculum and improvements. And of course, we have something nice for our participants of the webinar. We do it every time, and I hope that our friends know about that. So what are we going to do? You're going to get a prize, but unfortunately only one person is going to get a prize. Okay, so that is the idea of the surprise, right? That only one person is going to get one. I have said lots of things during today's webinar, and I have a question No, first I will say what you're going to get. The person who will answer my question correctly first, that is the challenge, you're going to be first typing the answer. The first person who is going to answer my question correctly is going to get 3-month subscription to the journal Англійська мова в початковій школі. So, it is a nice price. You're going to have 3 months information at hand and the question. Ready? Get ready to type, okay? Get to the position of comfortable typing. The question. Which issue has got all important documents for this school year? I have started with this information. Can you read the documents in July's issue, in August issue, or in September issue of Англійська мова в початковій школі? Can you please type your answer? And we have lots of variants. And of course, we will choose the winner. Okay? Thank you. So you can see 3 issues on the screen, and only one has got all the documents that are important for you for this school year. And the answer, the correct answer, we have already it in our chat. The correct answer is going to be July. This year, Ministry of Education published all the important recommendations quite soon. That's why the July issue has got everything. So if you have it, enjoy. And we have the winner, of course. We will inform the winner what to do next. And of course, every participant of this webinar is going to get a certificate. If you'd like to, you know what to do. The instruction is on the screen. It was my pleasure to have a wonderful webinar with you. I hope that you got the most important idea that whatever happens, happens, and we should be very positive. For our thoughts become our words, and we are teachers. The most important tool in our work is word, actually, right? Not a course book, but your word, your attitude, your emotion. So please make it nice for your students and enjoy this school year. You can see all kinds of contacts that you need if you have any questions. You can see my email at the bottom. You can also ask me questions. Of course, I didn't answer all your questions today. Of course, you have more, and that is okay and quite predictable, but I'm ready for your communication and to help you. And of course, happy back to school day. So I'm sure that you can have a perfect back to school day. You will see your students with their bright eyes, and you will enjoy the communication with them and the new adventure that is called new school year. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your summer. Happy thoughts and constructive decisions. Thank you.